Well, all you archers out there, this is Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone, and Easton has been making aluminum arrows since the 1970s. And if you're looking for aluminum arrows today as an alternative to your carbon arrows, Easton makes a line of aluminum arrows. These are their 2117s, the Fall Stalkers, and they're excellent arrows for the beginning and intermediate archer. If you're a demanding or very accurate, experienced archer who needs arrows that are within 0.001 inch of straightness, these arrows will not make you happy. But for a Joad shooter at 20 yards, scoring anywhere around 250 points, these will do very nicely. In fact, because they're big bore arrows, they'll cut scoring rings better than the little skinnier arrows that are commonly used. These shafts are 11/32 of an inch, so they're much thicker than your normal arrows. Now, to give you the best chance at accuracy, I recommend that you hand select these arrows out of the display box and sight down the shaft for the most straight arrows you can find. Most of them are straight, but there are some that are actually bent from the factory. So don't buy those. Buy the straight ones. Also, make sure that the insert is present, that it's not missing, and it's not loose. The fletchings come in your choice of colors. Plus, you have your choice of any of the tips that will fit. You can use tips that are the same diameter as the shaft, or slightly smaller as the center one, or even a fair amount smaller, and they'll all work. You just can't use tips that are bigger than the shaft. I actually like these 100 grain tips. Easily interchangeable, and you can glue them in if you want to, but there's no need to do that. They screw in nicely, interchangeable, and they are firmly in place. The full diameter tips actually weigh 125 grains. So the 100 grain tips actually are very nice. Now these Easton 2117s actually will shoot as well at 20 yards as some of our cheaper carbon arrows. You'd have to get some very finely made, expensive carbon arrows to outshoot these at 20 yards. And some hunters really like these arrows as well for their hunting. Now these arrows are made in the United States, and they have a very nice camouflage anodized finish. They have conical nocks, so you can actually see the cone of the arrow underneath there, so that it's very hard to get a Robin Hood. You'll break your nock, but you won't get the arrow destroyed by a Robin Hood. So you get replacement nocks, cement it back on, and you're back in business. Now these arrows cost $25 for 6, which is a very good price for a good aluminum arrow. Now some shooters report that these arrows are easy to bend, but I haven't had one bent yet. If you grab your arrow close to the target like this and pull the arrow straight out, you don't bend that shaft. This arrow is straight. And it'll stay straight if you don't bend it pulling it out. If you mistreat a carbon arrow that way, it won't do well either. Now because of the thick shaft, and if you use the heavier tips, You'll get less velocity with these arrows, but that's a small price to pay in terms of the economical, good, rugged, reliable practice and developing of your archery form using these arrows. So I recommend them to anyone who wants to look at the possibility of using aluminum arrows in your archery shooting. Bye for now.